Hey, I'm Yipley, and this is Bowser's Castle, the new Super Mario Bros. DS Any% speedrun tutorial. This level gets pretty technical and really scary at the end. If you die before the checkpoint, you can lose over a minute. This level is another one where you should practice a bunch, as being fast in it makes a huge difference compared to someone who's unpracticed. At the end, there's a trick called Bowser Jump. If you learn any trick in the run, I suggest Bowser Jump be it. Not doing it could lose over 30 seconds. However, if you miss it and aren't Big Mario, you will die and lose 40. So it's pretty risky. Let's check it out and see why it can be considered one of the hardest runs in the level. Runs in the level? Yep, levels in the run. Okay, developmental, main goal, don't die. Yeah. You can jump on the big platforms here, none of the fireballs will kill you. For doors in this level, there's a lot of them, and entering them at the wrong time can really add up. So, optimally, you enter the door right at the center, because Luigi just goes straight in and doesn't do a stupid walking animation. But if you enter like at the edge here, you'll see he walks really slowly to the center of the door, and then he goes in. But if we just run here and then enter at the middle, he doesn't have to do that. So like this, don't do that. Okay, here we're just gonna ground pound the middle block, and do that. There's a fire flower in that, this block, and you can pick that up if you want to, if you need it, but yeah. So you should enter doors right here. Okay, a lot of cycles in this room. You're going to have to wait if you're doing developmental because it's safe. So we just wait on the cycles until about this point. Okay, so here we're going to dodge that guy. And then we're going to fall down here, jump up to that next platform, and the fireball will move. Firebar. Wow. The fire bar will move so that we can go onto the next platform and fall down onto the brick block that you'll see. From there we can jump and then almost make it to the end, but you really need to watch out for the fire bars because they can hit you still. So it should look like this. You can jump here and then wait on that platform for half a second, just so this fire bar doesn't get you. So yeah, that's that room. Probably one of the harder rooms. And we're gonna enter this room. This room, you're gonna need to take an intentional hit. Just because you'll see, it's a lot faster. So we're just going to run and jump on that platform. Don't even pay attention that the thwomp is there. Okay, now you jump up from there as well. And we're going to ground pound on the third brick here, because that'll unveil the question block that we need. So ground pound there, and you'll need to get through that gap, so be careful with that. And honestly, you should wait for the thwomp here, just because that's a little scary. You can make it before if you're fast enough, but I don't recommend it. Okay, this room, also kind of scary. We are going to run up to this point, and bonk, and wait for that fire bar to move, and you can move over here, and you're going to need to make a one block jump there. And then with momentum, slide under this fire bar and press up, so that you can, or once you're past the fire bar, so you can enter the door. So it'll look like slide under and press up. Okay, this room is a bit of a doozy. It's the last hard room of the level, and yeah, it's hard. There are thwomps. So, at the start, you see that second kind of like beige-ish platform. You want to get there as fast as possible and just hold right and run. So if we can just run to here, ignore the thwomps, you will stop there and it's all good. You skip 2 thwomps, so that's nice. And then you can just wait on this thwomp here once you get up it. And you might want to crouch up there. Okay, next we can actually bonk on that and it'll perfectly get us through, which is nice. You can take a little route over here and pick up a fire flower if you want it, but you don't need to. You can also walk over here. I'm going to get rid of it just so you can see what happens normally. Then if you run right over here, you can hit this block and then hit the switch. I don't know. P-jump. P-jump? I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. At this point, wait on that guy, get through, get up here, and here you can actually do a pretty cool thing. If you get up here with a little bit of momentum, and then come to this final edge over here, you can actually press down and right at the same time, and you'll crouch slide past the thwomp. Keep in mind though, you'll have to jump before those spikes down there as well, so just be careful. So it'll look something like this. Go up and then crouch slide past it and jump over the spikes. So that's the main bit of the level. We still have a bit more stuff to do. So there's going to be a maze room coming up. Maze rooms are a little interesting because if you do not take the right path through the level, it's going to loop over on itself, and that's really slow because you can't get to the end if the level never ends. So the route that we take through here is going to be, there's options. We're going to go up and then down and then in the middle. So if you need to remember that, write it down or something. Just make sure you know that you need to go up, down, middle, or else it's going to be a really long room. So also making use of crouch jumps in this room is also really useful because you can make your hitbox smaller and make some tighter jumps that you might not have been able to. So run through here. Pick up this if you want, you don't need to, but you can jump from here. Remember down, crouch jump through here. You can wait on this fire bar. Up. Just make sure you don't fall in that gap. That gap can be kind of scary. And then middle. This is where you crouch jump. If you don't crouch jump through there, you're going to bonk your head and fall to the down portion. And if you fall here, I'll just show you how it goes. It's going to loop over on itself, and I'm going to see the same bit of the level. So we're, oops. This bit we're going to have to go through the medium again. Or up, my bad. And then the medium. And you should get to this point here. The final room. The final battle. But it's going to be a little tricky. So there's two options, like I mentioned before, Bowser jump, and then normal kill option. So I'm going to show the normal kill option. I'll show the normal kill option first, just because it's really simple, and yeah. Okay, so what you can do is run here and fight the dude. So a thing you might notice when you go to fight him, sometimes he'll randomly delay. There's a little thing we can do to manipulate that, but I'll mention in the advanced strat, so if you want to check that out, check out advanced. Okay, so here you can actually equip Fire Flower if you want. You don't need to. I'll show you what happens if you don't have it, because it's a lot easier with Fire Flower. You just throw fireballs in. And you can do the thing in 8 Tower we worked on. I didn't do it correctly though. So a thing you can also do is just chill in this corner. And to get yourself out of danger. But for this, you really just need to throw shells at him. So find a way to do that. It's really slow, honestly, and this is why I recommend doing Bowser Jump. You should be throwing the shell. So yeah, work on Bowser Jump, get that down, so you don't have to do this and wait forever. Okay, so you're just gonna wait for him to jump really high, and you can run under him. So it should do it now. Yep. And then you can go and complete it. But that's not really what I want to do with you guys. You should try to learn Bowser Jump. It's going to be hard, and you're going to lose a lot of runs to it if you do it, but it's worth it in the end because 30 seconds is a lot of time. I'll run through the rest of the level again so you can see how it looks while we get back up to that point. Okay, remember here, ground pound, and then just hit the block. Going to wait on the cycles. Wait on the cycles. They're quite slow, but now we can go. Watch out for that dry bones. And fall here. Jump. Wait a little bit, and then you can keep going. Remember, we're going to take a damage here. Take a damage. Intentional hit there. And then ground pound that block. Make your way through that gap. Hit the switch. And then wait for the thwomp to go back up. Oops. Okay, here, pretty easy again. Just wait for the bar to go away, and then you can run left. And that jump's pretty tricky as well. And slide under there. Now remember, off the start we can run and jump on this beige platform there, and then wait for these thwomps. Jump over here. Hit the switch, and then continue. Here, oh, he went down already, so we can, oh, I didn't think he'd get that, but you can make that sometimes, so yeah, that's an option. So, I'll do it with Bowser Jump with Mushroom, just to show you, because that's how you'll usually get there if you're doing developmental strats, but just know that it's a bit easier, honestly, as small, and that's how you usually do it. So I'll show this room again. Wait on that fire bar. crouch jump through here. And the final room. Make sure you enter this door in the middle. That's a big time loss if you enter it on the ends. Okay, Bowser jump. How to explain? It's a difficult trick. That is a given. But it's learnable, as all things. So, the way that it's done, Bowser Jr. is going to pop out, right? And you're going to run right, jump over him, almost over him. You want to land kind of on his 3/4 through his hitbox. So not completely over top of him, but just a little bit to the right. And the best way to do that is by pressing left in the air after you jump at him, just a smidge. So that you can kind of line yourself up to hit that little sliver of his hitbox. And then once you do bounce on him, you can hold jump and right, and then hope you make it over Bowser and hit the switch. I'll demo so you can see how it looks. And yeah, this is something you'll have to work on. It's like all things. And if you do get hit though, that's why we kept big here. You can just do the normal fight. So here's how it should look. Something like that. And then you hit the switch and boom, you just beat Bowser in 2 seconds. It's crazy. And that's the whole game. Congrats. Now you know how to run the game at a beginner level. Optimally, you could probably get a sub 26 with the developmental strats. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask in the Discord. So for my developmental guys, congrats, dude. You did it. You know how to run the game now. And you can just do runs. It's pretty sick. And here's some credits for you because you did it. Good job. Alright, but for my advanced folks, there's a bit more. I'm going to show you a ton of stuff you can do. You probably don't need to do all of it. There are quite a few things. This is a level you should practice a lot. There's a few tricks I'll tell you need to do. Like now, Bowser jump is you need to do it. Otherwise, your chances of PBing are quite low. So yeah, you'll probably want to do Bowser jump. And a couple other things that I'll show. First 2 rooms though are normal. So we'll go through those pretty quick. The third room, however, is really difficult now. Now the third room becomes really, really hard. So I'll show how that looks in now, yep. Okay, so you have a right button. We're gonna use it for this. We're gonna hold the right button to scroll the screen to the right so that the fire bars, that actually manipulates them so they're easier to run through. Also, we're going to have to do a really tight jump at the beginning to make it between the ceiling and a fire bar, just so that we can have the rest of the cycles line up really well and go fast throughout the rest of the level. This is probably one of the rooms you're just going to have to watch me do, and then try to copy it on your own, and I can't really give too many pointers, just because it's a thing you gotta learn, and it's not really explainable other than just seeing it. So I can't really pause too much here because if I pause I will mess up just because it's hard. But just know that I'm holding right throughout the whole room so that I can manipulate the fire bars to move. So yeah, I'm just gonna enter it and you can try to copy. So I'm holding right, this jump, make it as tight as you can, just make it in there. And I actually messed it up, I bonked. So I'm going to try to reset the room. But you optimally should not bonk there. Like I said, it's a hard thing. So, yeah. Re-enter the room. And delay there. You need to delay, otherwise the fire bar is going to hit you. And just continue like that. And you can actually get a 776 on the timer there. So yeah, I'll do another run through so you can see that. But yeah. Okay, this room is pretty much the same, except you can make another cycle on the thwomp. This is another, yeah, you should go for this trick, honestly. And also the last room you should definitely learn. So yeah, we're going to take the damage hit here, and do the same thing as beginner strats, but just do it a little bit faster. And if we do it a little bit faster, we can make it before the thwomp goes down. So this is what it will look like. Ground pound here. Quickly get over. Use your iframes, invincibility frames, so you can go through that thwomp a little bit. And then if you need to, crouch there while he's going back up. Sometimes you'll jump too early and hit him, and that's bad, so don't do that. But yeah. Okay, next room, kind of similar to beginner, but not really at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a damage hit here. We're going to be in small for the rest of the level, and it's going to be scary, and this is why this level is so dangerous. So yeah, it's going to be really scary from this point on. So we're going to take a hit on the fire bar that we would wait on for beginner strats, and run through the dry bones. So take a hit here, and just you can run through that dry bones. Okay, so for the next bit, we're going to use a momentum jump, and it looks really scary and really finicky and not good, but it's actually really consistent. So we're going to use a momentum jump to get in between the fire bar and just on that one block platform there. And so how we're going to do that is we're going to jump onto those kind of grayish bricks on the left, and then jump again right before the wall. Brush the wall and hold right so that we can kind of lift ourselves onto the firebar platform. And we also have a little bit of invincibility frames from just getting hit, so it should still work out fine. And then we can just run to the door. So it'll look something like this. And yeah, that's another thing you're just gonna have to work on. I'll try to show it again. It looks finicky, but it's not that bad. See, like, I jumped a little bit late there and I still didn't get hit. So yeah, that's pretty easy-ish, not really medium. Enter. Okay, this is a trick you might not want to do. It's, once again, like all the tricks in this level, really risky, and if you miss this one, you're gonna die and lose a minute. So if you go for this, just know that if you miss it, you're missing out on a PB probably. But it does save 7, I think it's 7. It might be less. It might be like 5. It saves a decent amount of time. So you know how before we just run and stop here and wait on that third one? Well, you see, there's actually a tiny gap we can make it through to skip that third guy. So the way that we do that, actually I should probably be over here. The way that we do that is jump from before that beige platform on the left to right here. Right here, or like just somewhere on the first like 2/3 of this first block. And then as soon as you land, jump again. So if you do that, you'll barely make it through this gap here between the thwomp and, you know, just where you need to go. So I'm going to demo that. It's pretty hard. Don't fret if you're not getting it the first few times you learn it. It comes with practice. So yeah, I'm going to demo it and we can see how it works. Hopefully I get this, otherwise I'll die and have to restart the whole level. So yeah, that, and you do a full jump and you'll just rest on that right bit there. So yeah, that's the really scary bit of the level out of the way. I'll do another run through at the end so you can see how it all works. But yeah, that's the scary bit. And you can, actually I just walked down there. You can run down here and hit this and then quickly wall kick off here. This is another trick actually. If you wall kick off here and land kind of on like the middle to latter half of the switch with full speed, you can actually skip falling down into a pit. I'll do it and then I'll show you which pit it is. So if you land right about there, you'll see I kind of clip through those blocks, and that's good. If you land too early, you'll get stuck in the block and fall down here. And usually if you don't do it, you can't make it. So doing that is good and not slow. And not slow is good. And usually when you do that, you can get up here really easy. And if you're fast enough, just run right past that thwomp. That thwomp will not mess with you. So you'll see that when I run through it a second time. This is the same. Press down right to crouch through there. And yeah. And because we don't actually have mushroom, the maze room is going to be really free. So yeah, this is a lot easier until we get to Bowser Jump, in which case let's just do it again. But there's another little thing I'd like to show off that can potentially not lose you time, because there's a thing called Death Stare, and usually when you get to Bowser Jr., he'll just randomly look at you for a period of time, and that's bad. I did not just miss that jump. That's bad. We don't like him randomly looking at us for dumb time loss. So a guy named Miko is a pretty cool dude, and he found us so that we could never, well, I say never, but it doesn't work sometimes, less often get a bad death stare. So usually if we run there, he'll just wait for like a second or two. Sometimes he does it instantly. It's nice. It's all RNG for all we know. But we can manip that by doing a Miko manip. So the way the Miko manip works is you need to scroll the screen. So I'm holding left here, and that's a way you could do it. Or I think holding right also works, but I'm not sure. But I just hold left, and then I do a small jump and then a triple jump. Again, I don't know why it works, but it does sometimes. So Death Stare will either have the no stare variant, which is the best, or like the half a second one, which is not good, but whatever. It's not 2 seconds like before. So I'm just going to do it, and you can see how it works. I'm going to scroll the screen left, do a tiny hop, and then a triple jump. I know other people have other ways of doing it, and you can check out their methods. It might be a little easier, honestly. But yeah, just know there's multiple ways to do it. I'm going to show you the way I do it. So I'm going to hold left here, do a small jump, and then a triple jump. So small jump, and then triple jump. And then you're going to have to perform Bowser jump again. You see I didn't get a death stare there because he immediately recognized that I was there, and we can start the fight. And hopefully you do the thing and don't lose. Like so, hopefully. Nope, I messed up, and I'm going to try backup. This is a thing I don't usually go. Oh, I got it. Let's go. But yeah, if you miss Death Warp, that's also a backup you can do. Or not Death Warp, I'm sorry. Bowser Jump. That's a backup you can do. So yeah, just know that's a thing if you miss it. But just go for it regardless because it's not the worst trick. Okay, I'll go through it with all the strats again so you can see how it works. I'll probably be less talkative than usual just because I'm focusing because this is kind of hard still. So yeah. Okay, first few rooms are still free. You can get that fire flower if you need, but you probably shouldn't. You can actually shoot fireballs there. It cancels a stopping animation that sometimes happens. This room's hard. And yeah, that's that room again. So yeah, just a lot of weird, small hesitations that you need to do. If you hit that switch before the Thwomp actually like finishes his like down thing, he will actually go through that block and waste you time. So that's something you gotta watch out for if you're too fast, but that probably won't happen because it takes really a lot of speed for that to happen. Okay, here's Thwomp Jump. And I didn't fail it, which is good. Hit this block. Get Switch Jump by landing on the last like third to like middle third. Crouch here, and if you do this all really well, you can get up to like I think it's 70. You'll get 705s if you do it really well. But if you do it like super well, you can maybe get a 706. But yeah, this room is free unless you're me on 22 pace. Or, you know. So yeah. And then Miko Manip coming up by holding left, small jump, triple jump. See if I get Death Warp here. Death Stare. Keep saying Death Warp. And then Bowser Jump to hopefully finish it off. And that happens too. You can randomly die. If you don't, yeah, no, I don't know why that happens, honestly. But that happens sometimes. You just randomly die. I did everything correctly, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's advanced strats. So awesome, we're done with advanced. Advanced strats are basically the best movement, minus all the dumb tricks and minuscule optimizations. So doing these show that you have a lot of skill and potential would be really good. With these strats, you could probably get up to like a 22, maybe, honestly, if you're like super duper good. But you could probably get a 23 2x or 3x before you should check out world record strats. But you can always incorporate a few world record strats as you learn. So yeah, well done. Now let's check out the world record strats, which honestly in this room level, whatever, are really dumb. Like probably some of the stupidest stuff. There's one strat I'll have to show off separately because it requires a different power-up route, but yeah. Okay, this second room, something you need to watch out for. If you're holding run while doing ground pound, it sometimes doesn't work. So I release run right about here before I do it. Also, when you're landing, you can get a really dumb like stopping animation. I kind of mentioned that in advanced strats that wastes like 0.4 or something dumb. So if you shoot a fireball, remember that cancels animations. So if you shoot a fireball right before you land on the switch, that's good because it will cancel that. And you should just try to hug as tight as you can to the right, really. I didn't shoot a fireball that time, but whatever. I'm gonna try to do a really quick third room. I doubt I'll get it, but you can check out like Glitch's PB, I think has it, and maybe Andre. So some of the 22 guys, if you look at their PBs and look in Bowser's Castle, their third rooms are so good. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, I'll try to show it off. No guarantees. Ah, I missed it. So you can actually, if you're fast enough, you can run past that dry bones and then crouch, and it's a little bit faster. Actually, my PB might have that. I don't actually know if it does. But yeah, that's... didn't do it. I didn't actually show it off, but check out someone else's stuff. They'll do it better than me. Okay, this is all the same. And enter this door. So, coming up here to the switch jump. Okay, cool. You can so usually we jump once to hit the block and then again to get up to here and do the wall kick. But we can actually do it all in one jump if we use momentum. So it's really hard to like stop yourself, and you need to stop right around here to have enough momentum to, with a single jump, hit the block and land up here. So it's a little difficult, but if you can slowly slide yourself to around this point, you can, with a single jump, hit the block and land here before doing switch jump. So I'm going to try to do that. I didn't do it. See, I landed short, so I'll have to do a second jump. But just know that you can do it in one jump. So that's something for world record. And yeah. The rest is the same. So I'm just going to restart and try to show you wah strats. Okay, wah strats are weird. Named after Moist and Wah. They are just dumb. So in the third room, usually we don't take any hits, we play it safe, right? But with wah strats, you do actually take a hit. And we, instead of taking a hit in I think it's 5th room, we can do a really tight jump. I think it's got 3 frames on it, plus weird movement. But yeah, it's kind of stupid. It's just awkward, honestly, because you're doing a jump right before that as well. But I'll show it. Okay, so I have to remember how to actually do this. I haven't done it in a while. But yeah, you're going to take a hit on this fire bar. And then you can crouch. I did not do it properly. I'm going to restart. I need to show that off properly. It deserves some looks. So this actually saves, I think, 0.5 or 6 seconds. Something around there. And I used to do it for a while if my run was like almost PBable but not quite. So it's something we might actually look into doing in the future. So just keep it in the back of your mind because this might be the new status quo for yeah, this level. And yeah, that is tight. But it's just tight. There's really tight jumps in there, and you gotta take a hit. Okay, this room coming up is different. I'll just show it. So instead of getting hit, well, actually on the start here, we can do something really weird. If we press left for like barely anything, and then come back right, we can actually wall kick off this roof. So we go, no, I entered the door. Yeah, we can. I'll show it. just do like, and that brings up your acceleration very slightly. So yeah. And then coming here, whoa, I didn't even realize there was a fire bar there. Instead of bonking here, we're just gonna jump up and then jump from like the edge of this really close to the edge and jump past that fire bar and bounce on that ceiling from where the fire bar comes. And if you fail that, you're dead because you're gonna fall and hit the dry bones. So yeah, that's fun. I'm gonna show it all at once now. I'm gonna restart the room just so the fire bars are not in the way. Alright. I did it improperly. Let's go. Restart again. Yeah. Okay. And I missed it and died. So yeah, my first jump was too high, and I didn't even make it onto the great platform to do the second jump. But yeah, I got barely any of these world record tricks in Bowser's Castle. It just kind of shows how hard they are, and also I didn't really practice them all that much before recording this. So that might be a factor. But yeah, they are very hard. That is something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's the end. I appreciate that you checked out the tutorial and wish all the best for your speedrun endeavors. Good luck.
Yes!
Yo?
Yes, I did it! Yes! Yes! Let's go!